Organized Grind with Orikal Uno.
Yeah.
Recorded live at Graph Fruit Studios in South Minneapolis.
Hey, what's up, world? This is Orikal Uno checking in once again with yet another episode of Organized Grind, the podcast. We're on episode 41, and we got another special guest in the building today. Why don't you say what's up, special guest?
What's good, everybody?
Yeah, we got
SpyMC in the building.
That's right, SpyMC. If you're familiar with Twin Cities hip hop, you may have heard the name DRS Crew. His brother Juke Nukem is in the scene doing his thing behind the boards, behind the decks. But yeah, Spy's actually in town from Texas. He's fresh off a battle that just took place in Wisconsin
in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
In La Crosse,
that happened at Focus Fest 2019, put on by Father Focus Confucius.
Okay.
Dope event. I believe Face ENT had a play in that as well. Shout out to both of them. They had Carnage the Executioner headlining. They had Diabolic with Ren Thomas.
Very dope.
And they also had J Live, the legendary J Live. It was an amazing event.
Very cool. Why don't you talk about the battle?
Oh yeah. So I battled the veteran battle rapper, dope MC, longtime homie. Everybody knows him as Rome's. A bit of history. He was the MC that battled New MC in the 2005 Twin Cities prelims.
Okay.
In order to get to Scribble Jam.
Sure.
I can't remember if he won that or not, or if New MC won that, but that's where I first heard of him.
Okay.
So it was a 2005 video.
Yeah.
And then, I move up here.
Yeah.
2007, I throw a freestyle battle, and he ends up entering it.
Sure.
And this was at Glassland in Uptown, like 2007 days.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was him and Sean Anonymous that were in the finals.
Okay.
And Sean beat him. It was a good battle. Both of them, they were going at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I battled that guy, Rome's, and a lot of history. I ran Grind Time Minnesota. I used to book him in those battles. Back in 2009, leading up, then I created Loudmouth League with 3 other people, including Dispute One.
That's right.
And he battled for me there and continued on battling. So it was a good historical matchup. We had a lot of past bringing up the past and everything, and I want to say the viewers will see the footage.
Okay.
I'm not a sore loser or a sore winner.
Sure.
But if I had to call it, unbiased, I'd say, I took round 1. Definitely give him round 2, and by default, because he didn't finish his third, I'd say I took that. But if he got out all 3 rounds, debatable.
Yeah.
But it was a good battle. It was definitely everything that I expected it to be.
Sure. So when people can see it, where can they check that out at?
No Coast Raps on YouTube.
Okay.
So just type in No Coast Raps, or even so, you could just type in SpyMC versus Rome's whenever it's available.
Dope.
But just stay in tune. Go to No Coast Raps on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, and check out all the other battles. I got some other battles out as well.
Cool, man.
Me versus Jay Vicious is on there.
Okay.
Me versus Epic Win. Me versus Paranormal Ezak.
Word.
And I believe there's a 2-on-2. Me and my boy Evolve versus Shake and somebody else. I can't really remember. But, we got a couple battles on there.
Okay, cool. Well, why don't we rewind? Where did you grow up, and what was your very first experience with hip-hop that you can remember?
All right. Grew up and from San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
My first hip-hop experience ever. Well, I guess I was brought up with music.
Sure.
I listened to a lot of music growing up. I want to say where I really or hip-hop captivated me was when I was 9, and I heard Regulators for the first time on the radio. And I don't know why, but that just... it sold me on hip-hop. It wasn't on anything like, yo, I want to be a rapper now. But it was just this is my thing. This is my, just became enveloped in the music. And being that I was 9 years old, it's not like I was able to be like, yo, let me go pick up this Warren G
Sure.
album from the store.
Right.
So, you know, had an older brother. He's 4 years older than me.
Okay.
You know, Juke Nukem, as everybody knows now.
Sure.
But yeah, you know, right there, you know, the Regulators, and then from there, you know, I was just kept listening to hip hop that was on the radio, or that was at least reachable to me, you know, as a youngin. And then, you know, after a while, around like 12, I was like 11 or 12, and I just out of nowhere just started trying to rap. And it really wasn't like a plan to do anything that I'm doing now. You know, but it was just, I liked the music so much, and I just started picking it up.
Sure. So what was school like for you back then?
I constantly moved a lot, so I went to a bunch of different schools. I can't say I wasn't able to, like, you know, really connect with people, but I wasn't there long enough to develop any type of childhood, you know. You got to be going to a school longer than a few years, you know, to actually be one of, you know, accepted in a sense. But, you know, I moved a lot of places in San Antonio, and then I want to say my second grade to about like, I don't know, to the point so I was about to graduate, because I didn't graduate, but, you know, still got my GED, still completed all the good stuff. You know? So even if you don't graduate, there's still a chance for you. But yeah, no, school, you know, after, you know, I want to say middle school was when I was able to start seeing other people that were into what I was into. You know, like elementary, you know, people were into, like, I want to say right when I got into middle school, 6th grade, I think Belly came out. It was either 6th or 7th grade, but Belly had just came out, and like everybody was trying to be, you know, sincere and buns and not me. I was just, you know, into the music, you know, into the music. Really.
So what grade was that then when you first started to write your first raps? You said you were about 12, so was that like 8th grade?
Well, I was 12. I was like freestyling. I wasn't.
Okay,
I wasn't
like
writing. No, I didn't really write
rapping.
any songs till I was about like 16, 17.
Okay.
I was just freestyling. Well, I was writing poetry a lot.
Okay.
You know, I was in a lot of like English honors classes and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, I was like into poetry and all kinds of.
Dope.
You know, having my way with words, and I was also in band too.
Okay.
Yeah, I played trumpet and French horn.
Okay, there you go.
But, you know, I was never like, I never really intended on wanting to do songs. Like, it wasn't like anything I didn't want to do. I was like having fun with words and freestyling and like just doing the ciphers.
Sure.
Like I said, I didn't really see, you know, performing on a stage, doing an album or anything like that in any of my future at all.
Yeah. So were you ciphering then, or were you rapping just on your own, kind of just having fun in your bedroom kind of thing when like there's music on or something like that?
What developed from doing that, like, you know, just rapping to myself at home whenever any song, you know, came on from, I guess, like not 10 or 11, 12, 13, and then when I was 13, that's when I started meeting people that were able to rap at school.
Okay.
But, you know, it was all freestyling. It was all ciphering.
Sure.
You know, it even got to a point to where one of the assistant administrators, they were into hip-hop, and they would come out of nowhere and just start beatboxing, and then, you know, it'd be like it's a big old scenario, you know, at like 14 years old.
But yeah,
you know, it was just ciphering, freestyling. I never really put what I wrote with poetry to a rap, like, you know, like, all right, let me try doing this now. I want to say when I was like 16, 17, that's when I really began to want to write, you know, songs and music. Yeah. Granted, I've been DJing since I was 14, and I was DJing at raves and emceeing the drum and bass. So, like, that was also, you know, a reason why I was also ciphering and freestyling and not really writing at the time. I guess it was because I really didn't know how to write to hip hop, you know, because I'm over here freestyling to hip hop. And I'm over here, you know, emceeing a drum and bass, you know, and it just like really didn't click, you know. But then, you know, I met a couple people that they didn't really teach me how to write. They just showed me what they wrote, and then like they rapped it to me, and I'm like, oh, that's easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you're getting into it more, who were some of the artists that were really captivating you at the time that just blew your mind when you heard them?
I want to say like Busta Rhymes, artists like Busta Rhymes, certain artists from the Project Blowed. I somehow, when I was young, copped a CD from Freestyle, or not from them, but a Freestyle Fellowship album. Yeah. And, that was like when I was like 12, 13. And I was already listening to like, Busta Rhymes and Onyx and, artists like that. And then, a lot of my inspiration too just comes from music in general. I couldn't really say that like hip hop is like, what influenced me to even rap. The thing that I had a lot to say too was, who really made me want to rap? MC Juice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who really made me want to rap. MC
How did
Juice.
you first get exposed to MC Juice?
I saw a videotape. Someone had a cassette, and I think it was, what was it? Freestyle, The Art of Rhyme.
Yeah, I got that.
And
shit
that one really, I think it was that one or
Black
what?
Thought.
It was either that one.
That whole...
Yeah, it was either that one or one that came out right before that, like a year or two before that. But I saw something, one of those, and then I saw the Eminem versus Juice.
Okay, yeah.
And it later down in the road, MC Juice is one of my homies. One of the fam.
Yeah. Right.
That's one of the freestyle beasts I've been able to, cipher with. Along with Idea, rest in peace.
Right.
Along with Carnage the Executioner, Sean Anonymous, Danku, No Can Do. On and on and on. But that's really who really influenced me to rap.
Okay.
Because I was listening to music and everything, but like I said, I wasn't really into hip hop. I was into hip hop, but I wasn't into hip hop myself, rapping wise, to write. So like the freestyling and the battling, that's where I really was like, I was trying to be a battle rapper. I wanted to be in Scribble Jam.
Sure.
2006 I moved up here for numerous reasons, but also one of them was so I can be in Scribble Jam.
Okay.
It was that closer for me to get, at least to be able to participate into it,
Yeah. So when did you decide to leave high school?
That wasn't a decision.
Okay.
That was more so like, bad choices in life I've made.
Yeah.
And literally the day that I decided to stop doing all that, or, put school first, I can't say I was... Anyway, so like the day that I decided to put school first, I think it was like, I can't remember if it was the SATs or some sort of, test that was going on like that. And they did the announcements. And they told me to go to the office. Then they handed me this big ass packet.
Damn.
Kicked out of school.
Wow.
But they're all like, yeah, have your mom sign it. And they let me walk home.
Huh.
So, my mom never saw that.
Wow.
Because I was, I was a kid. I was an idiot. And,
right. So that was in what grade, I guess?
That was my junior year.
Junior year, okay.
Yeah.
So you were...
That was actually the first 6 weeks of my junior year. I didn't go enough. I was living on my own. It was like I said, I was an idiot. Wouldn't advise anybody to live that way, but if you do, there's always a way out. Yeah, there's always a way out. There's always a way to do better. It's always a second chance. So
sure. So we'll get into the first commercial break here, but so high school is pretty much done with. Does the music get more serious at this time because you have more time to focus now, or what were you filling your time with now at this point?
At that point, I was just living.
Surviving.
I was, I had a job.
Yeah.
I was living. I've been paying bills, since a young age. So I have priorities, So money was always the first, and school became second because of life circumstances.
Right.
But in between that time, I was really figuring out what I wanted to do with life. I was DJing and emceeing the drum and bass, but I was also taking an interest into writing. Some of my homies were producers, and they brought me in, and it was just like, okay, cool. So now I'm into this. I'm starting to be like, oh, these are beats that I can do something with, rather than just freestyling on it. Because I actually used to do that. I used to freestyle over instrumentals and just make songs like that.
Sure.
And I don't think I ever put them out.
Yeah.
But you know, like I had like a whole bunch of music like that. So like in between that, I think one thing just led to another, and then those same friends, the group of producers, they ended up moving to Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
And you know, 3 of them were also members of SF Rex,
Okay.
which
That's
became
right.
leading into Death Ray Scientific.
Yeah. And so those 3 producers were.
You know, we got M Lusk, you know,
Okay.
my man Kyle used to go by SB. And then we got my homeboy John, you know, he used to go by Boomy.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. And so they moved up here first?
Yeah, they moved up here first.
Okay. And then how long did it take for you to make the move next?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it was like a year. I'm not sure. I can't remember how long they had moved up here because they were going to IPR.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was 2005. I'm not too sure when they moved up here because they had already been up here for at least a year or 2.
Yeah.
But I moved up in 2006.
Okay.
You know, so they gave me you know, my homie offered. He's like, "Yo, come up here. You know, get a small lease." You know, I got a 6-month lease. Stayed for 6 years.
Yeah. Would they like just kind of like report back like about what was happening up here, or did you like keep in touch, or like what finally made you make the decision? Was it the Scribble Jam thing that was like, all right, I'm just gonna go up there and try to make it in there?
It was more so like and one of those crazy life circumstances.
Sure. Yeah, man.
It was just more so like, all right, you're gonna do this now.
Word.
Yeah, basically, like, you know, the direction I was headed, and my older brother made a decision for me. You know, and it just like, all right, I got a plane ticket.
Okay.
All right, I have a 6-month lease.
Yeah.
Now I have to make it.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Well, shit, let's get into this first commercial break here. This is Organized Grind, the podcast with Orikal Uno, kicking it with SpyMC in town in Minneapolis right now, catching up. But yeah, we'll be right back. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Orikal Uno to let you know that on August 30th in St. Paul, Minnesota at Can Wonderland, B&E Music is throwing their annual hip-hop hoedown. B&E Music is back with their annual one-day hip-hop festival, the Hip Hop Hoedown. This year they have 2 stages at Can Wonderland. Come out for an insane lineup, awesome local vendors, indoor mini golf, arcade games, crazy drinks, good food, good vibes, and it's only $5. You can catch me, Orikal Uno, rocking the Wonderland stage, along with Professor Fresh, Prime and PM, Uncle Slump from Chicago, Skydro and Nacho Suave, Rhyme Surf from Chicago, Logan Michaels, Capacity, Just Wolf, Acronym, I.O. and Walrus, Chrono Alchemy, and Genre Treason, DJ'd by I.O., hosted by Dr. Murr. Some of the live art and vendors include True Heads Clothing, Super Kush, Good Times Tattoo, Midwest American Shaman, Signature Artwork, and so much more. This is 21 plus, only $5. Doors are at 8:30 p.m. Check out the B&E Music Hip Hop Festival, the Hip Hop Hoedown in St. Paul, Minnesota, August 30th, Can Wonderland, 8:30 p.m. See you there. Yes, y'all. Organized Grind, the podcast with Orikal Uno, episode 41. We got Spy in the building. He's in town in Minneapolis currently. I think he's currently residing back down in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, San Antonio.
But yeah, so we were just getting into your history about how you made the move up to Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. So when you finally came up here, you touched down, what was the first thing that you did?
Man, this is crazy. Okay, the first thing we did, I did, obviously, my boy Kyle picked me up. Well, I met him downtown, took the light rail. Never took a light rail before. Okay. So that was crazy. For me, you know, at least. Yeah. Never have, like I said, never took a light rail before. So we meet up, and then we go to his crib. His crib just so happens to be right above Uptown Lotus. Okay. So we hit up Uptown Lotus. Shout out to Yoon, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we hit that up and, you know, ate food, and then, you know, we just chilled, really. You know, I had just moved up there. I think we went and got alcohol or something like that, you know. But yeah, we just chilled. I didn't really do much music when I first moved up because I had just moved up. My apartment wasn't ready. It was ready October 1st, and I moved up like September, like the first week or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so like...
You had some time.
I had some time. So like, get a job, you know, all the normal things you're supposed to do when you move into a new spot. So, you know, I just did that. Hit up a couple shows. I actually hit up a house party that first Saturday. Okay. And there was some bluegrass jazz band or whatever, you know, like, and I ended up rapping with them. Nice. It was pretty cool. And then I ended up getting invited to, you know, perform at all these different house parties, and you know, just one led after the next. And I can't even remember the first show that I really did up here. But
what was the first one that you got to see, or like that? Or all right, so back in Texas, were you getting exposure to our music up here that was happening up here?
Yeah, like I saw what was the album that was being toured for? It was an ENA album. Okay. I think Los Nativos was with them too. Nice. Blueprint was on that tour. So yeah, you know, that's you know, them, you know, and then I saw Brother Ali down there too.
Okay, so what was the venue down there? That
it was in Austin when I saw them. So Austin's like an hour north of San Antonio. Okay. So I saw them in Austin. I think the venue was called Emos or something like that. But it was a good venue. It's one of like it's not there anymore, at least where, you know, I had seen them, because it's kind of moved around in Austin. Yeah. But the location, you know, was right on 6th Street at the time, and you know, so it's like in the middle of everything. Yeah, man. So you mentioned that your crew was up at the IPR spot and shit. Did you get a chance to go up in there and work? Yeah, I did. I did some things in there. A lot of it was, you know, learning, you know, and just because they had studio time booked with other people. Sure. And then, you know, the few times that I was able to go there. You know.
So I know that you were a part of a night called Switch. How long was Switch in between you coming here to you running that show? Was that like about a year, a couple months, or like how long did it take until your crew was finally in a spot where you were running a weekly? Well,
I started managing the tobacco shop Glassland in Uptown at the time. Okay. And Switch actually started there. I can't remember if we did it every Wednesday or if it was every first Wednesday.
I think I remember that.
But we did it there, and it got like, you know, this place was a capacity of like 50, 60 people. Yeah. And after I think like 6 months or 8 months of doing that there, you know, people that were throwing shows at the venues like at the Dinky Towner at the time and other places, they were actually coming to it, and we were having like 80, 90 people. Yeah. Like, it'd be a lot of people. Yeah. And I can't remember who reached out to us. It was one of the DJs that DJ'd a lot. Damn it.
Stage one? No. At the time?
No.
I'm trying to think of that time.
I think it was a DJ. He used to DJ for Ernest Rhodes back in the day. When he had that group. Yeah, man. With G-Dub and...
Last Word?
There you go.
Last Word.
I think it was Last Word that gave us the... You know, he was just like, hey, y'all want to come do it there? I'm not sure if it was him or, you know, one of the people that worked there, but it was one of them two. Yeah. And, you know, we got the opportunity, and they gave us the bigger spot, and we filled it up and continuously did that. And
that's dope.
You know, I know at one point it became the best night of their nights throughout the month. Yeah. You know, with only a few nights that would rival that, which would be like, you know, headliners and stuff like that. But, you know, we had a free event. So, in the Dinky Towner, foot traffic, you know, and like,
hell yeah,
being in the middle of U of M right there. And so I want to say we didn't really, I think it's 2007. Okay. We started doing that.
Yep. And you were up here in 2006?
Yeah.
Okay, so about a year.
Yeah, almost.
Being up here?
Yeah, about a year.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, it wasn't just me. It was, you know, it was the whole, you know, whole crew, the collective, you know. Right? So I was just a part of that.
Yeah, man.
SF Rex, you know, the other people were actually more on the main side of running it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I was always around rappers, so I was able to, you know, get people to sign up and all that.
Sure.
You know, and get booked for it. But, you know, leading towards the, you know, the latter, you know, of the end of it, you know, which was sadly the end of the Dinky Towner, you know, when it closed. You know, we all had, I guess I took a little bit more of, you know, running on it, you know, hosting and all that good stuff.
Sure. So at what point does fucking the stutter, man, does DRS become an official, like, all right, this is what this is, we're gonna go by this name? Where did the name come from? I remember seeing the logo, like the branding was super on point and like the merch was on point. But it just seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere after you guys had success with like the Glassland days. Like I'm starting to see it all in my mind, like just through flyers and shit like that, and like DU Nation and shit.
Mm-hmm. Damn, DU Nation.
DU
wow. Nation
though, right? That's some 2003 to 2007 shit right there, man. But it was just dope because you could see the progression of like, yo, like, who are these kids, to like, oh, these guys are doing some shit, to like, oh, like their show is obviously popping, you know, like you know, like you could see that whole progression. But all right, so when does DRS become a unit? Like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Like, when did all of the pieces fall into place as far as like D1 and Sean Anonymous and you and your brother, and like, how did that all fall together?
Well, 2007 was a good year. We got to meet everybody. You know, we established ourselves, and this is the Texas guys, which is, you know, me and my brother, Juke Newcomb, and then, you know, the three guys I had mentioned before.
Yep.
So we went by SF Rex.
Right.
We were doing our night. SF Rex presents Switch. You know, that led into us. You know, we were constantly also being booked for shows along with crews like Wide Eyes, Mess Crew. You know, we met D1. I don't really remember how that connection, you know, like it was a while ago. Many months ago. But like it linked from SF Rex, which you know, which we formulated, and then we were doing shows with Wide Eyes and Mess Crew, and then we started doing a lot of things together, you know, like me, Shelto, and Sean Anonymous. Shelto from Mess Crew, Sean from, you know, White Eyes, and then me, SF Rex.
I always thought Shelto came up with you guys, like from Texas.
Nah, he's
I thought that this whole time.
He's a Minnesota guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. I always thought Shelto came up here with you guys. Wow.
Nah, I think he even knew like Sean and them way before me too.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like you know, I think they even were getting booked on Switch, and then we just started doing a lot of things together and just hanging out all the time. And the powers that be, you know, Mess Crew, Wide Eyes, and you know, SF Rex, we just band together.
Yeah.
We picked up a couple pieces, you know, D1, you know, our homeboy, you know, a couple other pieces.
Yeah.
And we decided to formulate Death Ray Scientific. You know, it just made sense. It was no point in it to be like a record label or like a, you know, it was more so like a collective, meant to be a collective, because it was a collective of groups that came together.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So there was no like monthly meeting.
It became that way because it's a lot of work, you know, that we were doing, and it was just like a lot, you know. But you know, it really wasn't like started with, you know, that in mind. We just had meetings because we knew we had to have everybody on the same page. And,
sure.
You know, we're all working towards the same goal. Yeah. And, you know, as the year progressed in 2008, you know, that led us to creating the self-titled album Death Ray Scientific.
Word.
And then we released it, you know, on Halloween.
Yeah. So, what would you say were some of the highlights of the DRS days?
Every Switch night, to be honest.
Every single Switch night?
Yeah, I mean, those nights were amazing. I mean, you would, at the Dinky Towner, when it was open, it would be crazy because, Death Ray Scientific was there because one of our artists were performing. One of the people that were part of DRS, I should say.
Sure.
Was performing on a night. And you'd see that at least like once, maybe 2 times out of the week because Dinky Towner always had, events popping off there.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought that was cool. I always thought that, a great night for us, in my opinion, was when one of us is performing in 3 different venues, in the same city, and then it's all popping. And, like, I think one night we actually played 3 different venues to where we actually hit up every single one.
That's dope, man.
But, those were great. I mean, just countless hours in the studio hanging with the guys, the infinite freestyles with Shan and Shelto. Like, I don't know, man. Like, we accomplished a lot, and those are all great times. I couldn't say one was better than the other,
Word. So what led to you guys just kind of, figuring out like maybe we need to separate, or like what led to you guys going your own ways in the end?
I think in a unspoken sort of way, we all learned what we needed to from that experience.
Yeah, man.
And we all had to branch out to further our learning experience,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So you created Loudmouth League. I'm not sure if I'm jumping too far ahead here from, all right, now the last days of the crew to the Loudmouth League.
So Grind Time Minnesota was before that.
So Grind Time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with Grind Time then. How did you start to get involved there?
Me and Shelto went to Scribble Jam.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up winning the TC prelims in 2008.
Word.
And that was actually the final Scribble Jam. So we went over there to Cincinnati, and he actually met Matt Ills, who was one of at the time one of the 3 people who were in charge of Grind Time, and he linked them with Kyle, and in turn I'm the battle rap guy, and
Word.
So he linked them with me, and we brought them down on a February of 2009, and then I want to say, February 2009, we had like a tryout for Grind Time Minnesota, just to see if we can even have like a division in there, just to let them know what type of battlers and spitters we have here.
Yeah.
And that went well.
Dope. Through
the first event, June 2009, and then just continuously went from there. I want to say the last event we threw was November of 2011, perhaps. So we threw quite a bit of events, with Grind Time Minnesota. And then Grind Time kind of, the company itself kind of went under.
Okay.
Yeah. Without going too much into that, because I actually don't want to.
Sure.
But, the company, it went under. And I'm sitting on like 3 full events of footage.
Oh, wow.
And instead of just me just like uploading it to whatever and just not even caring, because I had a choice, the people I was working with, with Grind Time Minnesota, at least up here, Dispute One, White Rice Productions at the time, we had a choice. Are we going to keep doing this or not?
Yeah.
And the keep doing it part was meaning create something. I just kind of felt that, I revived or brought back battle rap, at least attention to the Twin Cities, when it comes to battle rap. And I felt like it should have its own outlet as well, which is why me, Dispute One, the other 2 guys, we created Loudmouth League. We already were sitting on battles, good battles at that, and then we just wanted to continue that movement. Because after that, who knows what would have happened if somebody would have created a league or anything like that, to further that. Yeah. Nowadays, you got, leagues like Manslaughter Battle League here, and then you got Snow Coast. Bars on Deck was a league here too. I'm not sure if they're still doing events, but, like, you got leagues like that. So, like, who knows if they would have, came out in the interim,
Yeah. Yeah.
But that,
man.
you know, like I just, you know, like I said, I just felt like I had to continue that culture, you know, here for the Twin Cities. So.
Right. So when you were given the chance to participate in the grind time stuff, was that your very first experience in something of that magnitude? As far as like were you prepared for what the job actually was? I suppose is what I'm trying to ask. In the simplest way.
Yes, because I had, you know, it was a team. We were a team, so we all designated roles. And,
okay.
You know,
yeah.
You know, the production team, they handled everything having to do with the production, the filming, the lighting. You know, booking battlers. You know, D1 also too, talent scouter. You know, venues. You know, all the other things. You know, we all. And then at the same time, we all helped each other too with that.
Sure.
So it just became, and you know, the fact that it was a thing that was buzzing just in general, you know, like the acapella scene just worldwide, like was a thing. You know, it still is, but at that time it was just like, you know, super popular. So everybody in the Twin Cities, as far as like, you know, companies, a lot of different, like, you know, like, clothing designers, you know, artists, people who actually invest into events, like they were interested in this. And so like it kind of, all that kind of made it easier to, you know, make these events happen.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, that really, once Grind Time, you know, toppled, then it turned into Loudmouth League.
Yeah.
And then it became kind of like a struggle in a sense. Not the first year of Loudmouth League, but when I moved back to Texas.
Word.
You know, like it was kind of hard to run an event or a league in that matter in San Antonio up in Minnesota, you know?
Sure.
Like I was having to like go back and forth a lot, but you know.
Yeah. So I wanna remember to go back to why you moved back, but while we're on the topic, as an MC and not as someone who's on the business side of it, when did you start noticing the trend of battles going from on beat to the acapella kind of prepared battles? And then did you transition well with that, or what were your thoughts as you were seeing the battle culture transition in such a sharp direction?
I mean, I started watching the WRCs, the World Rap Championships, in I want to say 2006. And you know, that was actually my first intro to like acapella battling.
Okay. So that was like 2006 is when you first started seeing it.
Like 05, 06.
Okay.
Granted, like in some of the freestyle tournaments I've been in, I've had to do acapella rounds, and
sure,
but I didn't really see it like. You know, all I knew was battles over beats. Yeah, you know, so like when that happened, it was just like, all right, that would actually be my weakest part. But when I was younger, and then you know, watching those, I'm like, oh, you know, it's not the same. You know, because before I would try and rap acapella, but to a beat. You know,
right? Yeah.
Now it's completely different. You know, like. You actually have time to deliver and, you know, have performance, you know.
Right, yeah, it's definitely more about the theatrics nowadays.
And the animation, you know, when I noticed it, it was still heavily freestyle, though, acapella. You know, there's a lot of pre-meds, you know, a lot of the more experienced battlers would come with premeditated bars, which is, you know, whatever. At the beginning, it was, you know, definitely shunned upon, but... nowadays, if you don't really prepare, actually, if you don't prepare and come with, you know, freestyle, you're gonna get bodied. It's not gonna be a good sight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, and then it progressed into the grind time era. You know, 2007 and 8 is when I started seeing those battles, I believe, or 2008.
Okay.
And then, you know, now you're seeing people put together rounds, and they're using freestyle too, but it's mainly put together rounds. And then as the years progressed, it just became so advanced and technical. And like, you know, now you got like, you know, we got battles dropping, or not me, but, you know, there's battles dropping, you know, that get millions of views and stuff like that. And before, it's just like, wow, you know, that's crazy. You wouldn't even expect that battle rap would be here at this point.
Right.
But now as an MC, for me battling, you know, it was hard to transition at the beginning. Like I said, I was trying to rap a cappella, but like to a beat. Now, you know, I just battled. So like I've already like, I've overly figured it out, you know. I've more than figured it out. But
yeah.
It took me a while. And when I was first running Grind Time Minnesota, I was completely against written battles. You know. So it was kind of a frustrating thing to run at the same time because of my own personal preference.
Right.
I was just like, these guys are writing, like, what the hell?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And now here I am. Now I'm like, man, if I don't come up with the best shit, like
straight up. So in the end, I mean, if you had to put all of your kind of MC points that you've collected throughout the years on the line, all of the honor and pride of SpyMC on the line, what would be your format of choice for that battle?
I mean, either.
Would you go
either?
But if you had to choose, all right,
I'd
it's
say
gonna
right
be
now,
on beats with freestyles, or is it gonna be a cappella with the pre-meds?
Honestly, I don't know.
I'd
say
for
both.
SpyMC
I would
or
say
whatever.
both, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say both, to be honest.
So like half and half, like round one on beats, round two.
What I just saw this Saturday, and I've been watching this. There's a league called Verbal Warzone, I believe, and it's it's beats on battle, but they prepare for it.
Okay.
And like that's also another
Sure.
thing too. But like,
yeah, it's different.
I'll send you a link. You know,
Okay,
like
cool, man.
There's one battle. I think it's like a Bill Collective versus Dre Dennis. That is what really like, they prepared for this, and it's on beat. Crazy.
Word.
So Saturday, you know, the person who organized Focus Fest, Father Focus Confucius, he battled Nestle, and it was over beats. But it was more interesting because Focus produced one of the beats.
Okay.
Nestle produced one of the beats. And then the third beat was DJ Choice that was produced by, you know, someone from Chicago.
Sure.
And so like, but they, you know, they came prepared, or, you know, one of them came prepared, but you know, they came with prepared rounds on beat.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to do that too, just to, you know, just to try it. Like, you know, who knows what the fuck? Right? It just might be fun, you know. But you know, the whole battling freestyle over beats, I'm still a beast with it. I'm still down to do that.
Yeah, man.
And then you know, acapella, I don't know, you know, either or, you know, it has to be tested.
Right.
You know, I'm an MC.
Yeah.
I'm an artist. I'm a rapper. I'm an MC. But you know, I feel like it all should be tested.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, man. So, we're gonna get into the second commercial break here soon. It's already 42 in, which is pretty dope. It's just fucking flying by. But let's get into why you made the decision to move back to Texas now. So, what year is this that you decided to move back?
2012.
2012. All right. So, what brings you to that choice? Like, I'm going back to Texas.
I was already going back and forth from like 2010 to 2012,
okay.
And then I just decided, you know, I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah.
You know, it's home. The food.
Yeah.
You know, I was also, I guess, not getting tired of the winter, but mainly when I would leave would be during the winter.
Sure.
And then I'd come back up and I'm like, do I want to really do this again?
Right.
So, you know, and then life, you know, I ended up just being down there.
Sure. So I've been noticing, I mean, this is now definitely going to just jump ahead, but, you know, I've noticed that you've definitely haven't stopped doing your thing at all. Like, you're just as active, if not more, back home as you were up here and shit. I saw that you did the show with Royce 5'9". So you're constantly working and stuff like that. Have you always had the connection that you had, or did working up here kind of help you network back home in San Antonio?
Moving up here is where I was already, like I said, DJing and doing all that. So I already had like, you know, like some know-how of, I guess not the music industry, but like how to, you know, conduct myself and learn and understand business somewhat.
Yeah.
But when I moved up here is when I really learned everything. And it wasn't that I was taught. I mean, I was watching a lot, you know.
Right.
I observe a lot. And I just, like I said, I've had to pay bills at an early age. So,
yeah, man.
You know, I came up here, had things that I wanted to get done in mind. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to really get anywhere by just trying to show talent. Right. I'm going to go talk to the right people. So you know.
Yeah.
I moved up here, found the right people, talked to them, worked with them, still in connections with them, connection and contact with them. And then, when I moved back down here, I still have all my network,
Word.
It's just now I'm in Texas. So my Texas experience before I moved back, I really wasn't, I never really played shows, in Texas as far as hip hop.
Right.
It was raves and everything else.
Yeah.
So when I did my first show was like, I think 2010 or 2011 in Dallas, which was a dope show. And then I don't think I did my first show in San Antonio till like 2012.
Okay.
It was like a performance competition or something to open up for Blueprint.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, but I ended up doing that. Well, I ended up opening for Blueprint too. It's just same thing, I had to relearn who everyone was.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took me, I think, a year, and then I ended up bringing Dead Prez in 2013.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So then after that, I just back to regular scheduled programming.
So when you get the chance to bring someone like that into town, is it the management hitting you up directly, or is it someone that you might know that will be like, hey, I have a chance to bring this person in? Or how does that opportunity come to you?
That was a booking agent I had worked with, books a lot of tours for a bunch of different artists.
Nice.
But previously that I worked with in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're not based up in Minnesota, though.
Sure.
But, I was bringing people up, up here in Minneapolis with their agency.
Oh, okay.
And then when I moved down there, they had been hitting me up. I'm like, give me some time. I'm trying to learn things here and figure out, what's what down here.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then, got an opportunity for a venue, and I was like, well, what do you think about bringing Dead Prez? And I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it.
Yeah, man. So when it comes to how things are done in Texas, what are some of the changes that you've kind of had to encounter down there versus working up here with people? Because I would think that the culture is a bit
culture is definitely
contrasted versus like the shit you have to deal with up here with like the Minnesota nice shit. Like, is it more like direct and in your face in Texas as far as like, we're gonna get paid this much or fuck you, I'm not gonna rock, or
nah. I mean, it's
what would
everybody's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
There's not one city or state that doesn't have the scene that's the same as that scene in that city or state, or the next scene is that every place has their own stigmas, every place has their own things,
Yeah.
And every place has their own assholes.
Sure. Okay.
So there's people like that everywhere. The main thing that's different is the culture of hip hop, of music.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's more on a mainstream level or on a commercial sounding level down there, but
Sure.
It kind of is in a sense. But I think that just has to do with more, it's bigger state,
Yeah.
Up here in Minnesota, more specifically up here in Minneapolis and St. Paul, the Twin Cities, you kind of, you got a lot of artists here.
Right.
But it's still, just between those two cities.
Yeah.
Like I said, as opposed in Texas, like San Antonio's got like 1.5 or 0.7 million people.
Damn. Yeah.
Houston's got more. Dallas, I think's got more. Like,
Sure.
And Austin is the, music capital of the U.S. So it's like, there's just a lot of artists down there.
Yeah, man.
And then, Rhyme Sayers has been a heavy influence up here for a lot of artists as well.
Yeah.
They've been revered as the number one underground label, so that also has like a big influence on, the types of music that gets put out there.
Yeah, man. So before the commercial break, I know I'm trying to squeeze in a lot here, but you've worked with a lot of people throughout your career. Who are some of your favorite people that you've gotten to work with, and how did you make it happen? So like Juice, right?
Yeah,
like,
Juice, definitely. Juice, the top one right there. That's my bro for life right there.
So what went down that connected you two on a musical level?
I played in, what was it? Barrington, Illinois, at the Pennington Road Pub. He had a mixtape release party there.
Nice.
And my homies that threw that show, they booked bottom feeders for that. So all three of us went there. We played the show, or we did our set. He actually didn't. He got there right after our set, you know. But when I went outside, I talked to him. We had a good conversation. And that night, he ended up battling someone a cappella, and I filmed it, and, you know, whatever.
Nice. Yeah.
Put it out on Grind Time now. Whatever. Like, so that happened. Then I gave him our music. The next day, I think I was on my way to Chicago to play a show. And he calls me, and he's just like reciting lyrics from my song, and you know, from our songs. I'm like, what? Who is this? I didn't really know who it was at first, and then he went from that to freestyling, and
that's dope, dude. That's so dope.
So, you know, from there, you know, I ended up bringing him out to Minneapolis for one of our Grind Time events, and, you know, just continuously built with him. Got 2 songs with him. I mean, you know, I'm still in contact with him.
That's dope.
I guess another one like that would be my boy Agalata Don. You know?
Yeah, man, Agalata. So how did you make that connection happen?
Just certain life situations. He was living in San Antonio, and I was living in San Antonio, and it just somehow like my boy was all like, "Yo, come over. I got this dude. He's a rapper. You know, he's got this album. You should check it out." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I'm just like, "Well, just have him send me a song link."
Right.
Anyway, so I go over there, and he hands me the album, and it's like, it's Agalata Pharaoh. You know, I'm like, "What the hell? Like, this guy is here?"
Right.
I'm thinking he's lying, and I end up meeting him, and then we link up, and man,
that's dope as fuck, man.
You know, I've been rocking with him since like 2014 or 15.
Dope. Well, shit, man.
I actually got a music video out with him. Song called "It's Not Enough," produced by Agalata Don and Moon Doctor.
Oh shit. Okay, search for that on YouTube, right? SpyMC, Agalata Don.
Yep. And Moon Doctor.
Word up. Well, shit, let's get into the second commercial break. We could sit here and really talk for hours about this shit, man, but it's just nice to catch up. But, yeah, man, we'll get into the second break. This is Organized Grind, the podcast with Orikal Uno, episode 41, SpyMC in the house. We'll be right back.
Yo. Representing the Midwest, this is Truth Maze. Yes, y'all. Check out the new EP. It's entitled The Holy Bible. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Music and elsewhere. Red Pill Music, baby. You see, with my words I can heal or kill. Talk fuck shit or truly keep it real. I can grab up a burner and flame my brother, or he and I can train so we elevate each other. I could talk about pussy all day and all night and not admit I'm toxic and don't treat women right. I could tell everybody how to pop a new pill, or tell the next generation the matrix is real. Cause what I know is I hold the power at will. Still sharp and still, goddammit, it's ill. For mentally the blade I hold, it takes skill. Specially designed so I can kill Bill. And the fake shit in me I need to reveal. That's what a god does with the ability to build. My soul is my rock, my spirit's my shield. My soul is my rock, my spirit's my shield.
Yes, y'all. Organized Grind, the podcast with Orikal Uno, episode 41. We got SpyMC in the building.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for coming on the podcast today, man. Appreciate that.
Hey, I'm glad I was able to stop by
Hell
stop by.
Right, yeah. So we had been planning to do this twice just on the phone, and you know, life happens, and then timing hooked it up to the point where you're here in the flesh. I could take the picture and shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's going down.
The realness.
So, yo, this is a little game that I like to play on Organized Grind, the podcast. It's called the Lightning Gauntlet. It's basically 3 random questions that I ask the people that stop by the podcast. If anyone would like to submit their own questions for me to ask people, go ahead and send those to organizedgrindpodcast@gmail.com. But, yeah, let's get into it. First question for SpyMC. There you go. What particular personality trait do you find the most annoying in other people?
Wow. Oh, man. I don't know which one's more annoying. Let me see. Well, I really do hate grammar Nazis.
Okay.
You know, but I love trolling grammar Nazis by being one.
Sure.
You know, so I don't know. It's kind of, what else? Like something like that. Constantly poking, you know.
You like, are you talking about like someone who like talks to you and like pokes you and punches you and shit while they talk at you and shit?
I got it.
People like that?
Rappers rapping in my ear at a show. There it is.
Okay.
That's the one.
Yeah.
First of all, I can't hear y'all. You know, second of all, you know, I can't hear y'all, so you're gonna be really, really close to my ear to where I can smell you.
Right.
You know. Third of all, there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
You know, conversation, and then an album or something like that after said conversation. You know, but not saying that I won't listen to anybody rap, but you know, at a show, that's bad. Yeah, because I can't hear them. You know, and that's the thing. It's like I want to give them the time too, but I can't. So it's just like, you know, now you're putting me in a position because I got to be an asshole.
Right. Depending on the venue too. I mean, like the speakers can be really high with the frequencies, you know. And so if you have that in one ear, and then you have someone else who is trying to rap above the music that's going on, and then they hit a certain frequency that like pierces your eardrum. It's like living hell.
Yeah,
man.
no,
It's
definitely
fucking horrible. All right, question number 2 for SpyMC. If a professional musician of your choice were willing to entertain you with a private set, show, whatever you want to call it, whose talents would you request and what songs would you want played? And we can say dead or alive as well, just to keep it spicy.
Dilla, Nipsey, I mean, all the greats. You know, my pops. You know, I'd love to hear all his songs again.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What did your pops do?
You know, my older brother, our father, he was in a band called Kill Sister Kill, and also Blackthorn, lead singer.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so like any of his material, you know, I was kind of too young to know any songs as far as like titles and all that, but
sure,
you know, I'll recognize what I hear.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. We'll have to talk about that on another episode.
Maybe bring my brother up here.
That'd be dope. Yeah, man. It's overdue. And then question number 3 for SpyMC. If you could bring back any clothing style or fashion trend from the past, which one would it be?
Damn. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird because, you know, the 90s is somewhat coming back.
Right?
It was a lituation in the 90s as a kid, though.
Straight up.
Damn, in my rave days, I wore like Jinkos and Kick and caffeine and all that crap, and you know, I definitely don't want to see that come back. I don't know. I mean, I can't really say I would want a style, you know, to come back. You know, I would just want time to just run its course.
Word.
You know. Oh shit. I mean, if anything, like Tribe Called Quest, you know, hip hop, you know, the early 90s style of dressing, that would be tight.
Okay. Dope, man. Well, shit. That was a Lightning Gauntlet with SpyMC. This has been episode 41 of Organized Grind, the podcast. Why don't you go ahead and let the listeners know what you're up to nowadays and where they can find you?
Yeah, you know, I'm working on music. I'm still running Loudmouth League. I got a couple projects in the works that will be dropping this year for sure. One produced by Moon Doctor, one produced by Nick Shan, one with my boy Basic, produced by both Nick Shan and James Embrace.
Nice.
And then another one produced by my boy Kaiser.
Okay.
That's the music part. You know, I still run Loudmouth League in San Antonio. Our next event's going to be in November for BYOB, Bring Your Own Bars.
Dope.
You know, that's available. We're booking it now. If you're interested, follow us on Loudmouth League, at Loudmouth League, the way it's spelled, and then just send us a message. You can check out my music, spymc.bandcamp.com. You know, purchase the music. Give it goes to me directly. You know, I also donate as well. So, do that. Also, I got some stuff on Spotify, and then, I'll have some singles releasing in the next couple weeks on all platforms soon.
Dope. So yeah, just search SpyMC, exactly how it sounds. But yeah, so you brought through this song. What a horrible introduction for your song, man. Let me start this again.
It's all good.
You brought this track through the podcast today. It's called Torn. It's featuring someone by the name of LoveWreck, produced by Nick Shan. Why don't you talk a little bit about this track?
Yeah, the track's called Torn, produced by Nick Shan, amazing producer and engineer, the homie from San Antonio. It features LoveWreck, amazing singer, homie, artist as well. She also does throws events down there, pretty dope events called Coastal Sundays.
Okay.
But she also has a bunch of dope music. You can look her up on SoundCloud. Just look up LoveWreck, LoveWreck.
Okay.
And then I believe she might have some things with as features on Spotify as well, and a couple other platforms.
Is this out?
The song is out on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Only right now, because that's also, I kind of like put it out as like a sneak peek of what's to come. So once we, now that the battle's over, when I get back to San Antonio, it's back to work on the albums and finishing things up. So, once the album's ready to drop, I'm going to take it off SoundCloud, and it's going to have like, a complete full official release, followed with a music video too.
Nice. Well, shit, man. This has been episode 41 of Organized Grind, the podcast with Orikal Uno. We had SpyMC in the building. This is SpyMC featuring LoveWreck, song called Torn, produced by Nick Shan. As always, peace and love.
Organized Grind with Orikal Uno. Recorded live at Graph Fruit Studios in South Minneapolis.
I'm thinking when I'm sleeping in my dream and I got both eyes open and I'm blinking, but I'm feeling like I'm sinking to a different type of bottle with another finest model to the top of the bottom with a wider direction when it feels like a spiral. So let's get lit like a light bulb. DJ play the record, spin the vinyl. Cut it up like it was suicidal. If I die on stage, better make that bitch go viral. Gotta do what I gotta do, even if I gotta drop a few. Grave digger with a plot for anyone that tries to stop my crew. Not having it, I'm hazardous, not a pacifist. A pacifist, so get up and back your bitch before I just snap and flip and smack your shit halfway to Houston. Can't realize what the fuck I'm doing. Don't matter if I win or lose, hell nah. But you better believe that I'm getting up like the morning sunrise, that's waking you up. The way that I roll, you should make it blunt. Nothing but fire that comes out these speakers. With a listen the spot, I can blaze any feature. Break every meter, cause I don't got a limit. Could be a preacher, cause I got a vision. This reefer, I'm hitting this crown and I'm sipping. The people in the building with their hands to the ceiling. It's got my head spinning like I was tripping. All of this shit got me taking a trip in a matter of minutes, seconds, I'm guessing. Goddamn, I feel reckless, but I never have stepping. Don't ask me a question, my answer's a weapon, a factual lesson. Everybody tripping, wishing for my fall. Never catch me slipping, proving them I'm wrong. Hate is guaranteed, love I wanted more. Threw away my heart, so I'm feeling torn. Living by the sword, dying by the sword. Praying to the Lord, we don't want a war. But if I'ma die, then I'm gonna soar. Roll up and get high, never touch the floor. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Tell me, why you gotta be like that? Tell me, why you gotta be like that? Tell me, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Tell me, why you gotta be like that? People all around me with their hands out, thinking that I'm gonna give a handout. Nothing's for free, you'll get nothing from me. Finna say to see, I'm hating in the stands now. Damn, now they hope I fall off. I cut them all off. They mad I won't ever take them back now. Back against the wall, I won't back down. They want the last laugh, I laugh out loud. LOL, what the hell? Feeling trapped in a jail. I want out.